Hey, I'm Claudia. I'm the creator of the Body Story Method. Welcome to this pain and injury masterclass. Right now, you might be feeling like you have this pit in your stomach when people arrive in pain, not knowing how much to modify or ease off on the challenge. Do you totally avoid working that body part, or are you going to be making things worse? What most instructors don't realize is that the pain is not the problem. The pain is the parts of the body that's crying out for some support and strength work. If we only focus on the pain and modify and regress, we're keeping our clients in a pain cycle because this is just symptom focused. It's not necessarily looking at the whole body or what emotions are contributing to this pain. And we're taught to stretch what's already weak and strengthen what's already being overused. Throughout this masterclass, you'll be able to learn how you can read someone's body in an instant when they walk into the session to be able to see where there's tension, disconnection, and any other emotions that might be being suppressed in the body that are contributing to the pain that your client is feeling. This is all done in an instant, whether you're teaching a private or a group class, and you'll be able to learn to teach with accuracy and know exactly where to begin with your session and what you need to modify and how to still keep challenging your client and those in the group class as well. There's also a live demo that I had one of the participants standing for us. And this was in 30 seconds, we could see exactly what was happening in her body. You'll also be able to learn how shoulder and neck pain relates to people not expressing their true feelings or feeling depleted at the end of a social interaction. How people with knee problems need to learn how to surrender to either feeling like they're out of control or surrender to any heavy emotions that they might be feeling. So let's dive in.
So I'm a reformer instructor as well. And just having clients through, because we're in a class setting, it's so fast paced and everything. I just wanted more knowledge and more understanding of when they're like, my knee injury, and then I can be like, oh, yep, we can do this. So it's really just trying to become a better instructor, really.
Yeah, awesome. And how many people are you teaching at a time?
The class has 10 beds, but
Okay.
Very rarely we're full, but we do get a few people with injuries and things like that.
Yeah. And is knees the most common? Hello.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I have kids at home. I've
That's
set
okay.
them up with lunch and everything, and I'm like, guys, I'm just in the office, okay?
That's okay.
You choose one. I would say knee, recovering from some sort of knee injury. Our reformer studio is based in a gym, so we get a lot of that crossover, and a lot of them have realized as you get older, you can't hit the gym as hard as you can. You end up with an injury, and then they're like, oh, apparently Pilates is really good for you. And then they come to us and we're like, oh, okay, you need to go see a physio. We need help with this and this.
Yeah.
So we kind of have to whoa backs with some people. But generally, gym circumstances, it's either knee injury or shoulders. There's a lot of
Yeah, the two very complicated ones. All right, so today we're going to be covering a little bit about that, and you'll walk away with some reasons behind it because there's somatics to this, there's other reasons behind it. So just working in a more holistic way is how we're going to cover today. And if there's any specific people that you'd like to get some advice on, we'll have time for that too. All right, so I'm just going to share my screen. There is a bonus that I'll cover regarding upcoming training that may be of interest to you as well. And then there's a body story reading that I'd love to share with you. So this requires you to just be standing, and then I will share with you what it looks like giving someone a body story reading. Now, this is something that's really quick. It's really accessible, especially when you have clients coming in for a group class, so that you can predict when you need to be with someone. and which leg will need more connection compared to the other, and like where else to be looking and correcting when they have any particular pain. So would you mind, like, if you show me your full screen, and then we'll just do a quick reading, and then get your feedback on, does any of this resonate with you? And then you'll get a little bit more of an idea about this. Yep, that's fine. We'll look at you from this perspective. So currently, Sarah, what I notice is like there's a little bit more pressure on your left leg, and there's an anterior tilt that I'm aware of on the left side, so of the hip. So that would then show that like the knee locks a lot on the left, the lower back or hip might have a little bit more strain to it, and then the right shoulder is slightly further back. So like that could be various amount of reasons to it, but what we would try and do is switch on the front part of the shoulder so that we don't have as much attention on the back of the shoulder, and then start to take strain off of the left side as well. There is a slight tilt in your neck, and this is just because we're talking right now, and usually when we're sharing information, people either tilt their head to one side, like when it's to the one side and we're exposing like the right side of their neck, this means they want steps to go, like what's the plan forward, and when they tilt it to the other side and they're exposing the left side, they're just trying to see if it's actually resonating with them, and like they're processing what you're telling them. So you may have clients that, like when they're lying on the reformer, they may have their head tilted one way. This could signify like how they do their internal world, and giving them cues of just shifting and getting their head straight is going to help, not just physically, but emotionally as well, just to start to process, but not stay in process mode. And that just generally helps. So with your particular, the way that you're standing in this moment, it also shows me that like there's something called the burned body story. So it's not, doesn't mean that you're burned. It just means that like you push yourself beyond your limits, and there's a little bit of the bottomless body story as well, which signifies like there's a lot of thought patterns in your head, but that then leads to disconnecting to your body. Does any of this resonate with you so far?
All of it. I'm just like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
It's amazing that you can pick that up in like just looking at how I stand. But yeah, really interesting.
Yeah, and this is what I teach people to read. Like you'll be able to, like I've been doing this for 25 plus years, but I have designed the training in a way that you can start to see it in clients, and it's all step by step. So learning to first start to look at the feet, and when you see the feet, where else to look and what it means. So there's like really simplified ways that you can learn this. And then like there's emotional reasons behind why people are feeling a physical way. So you'll not only be helping them physically, but help them emotionally outside of the session, help them to feel more connected to their body and themselves. And then they also do their homework of any exercises you give them. They will have less time having to go to physios as well. So you'll be able to learn like particular exercises and workouts and ways of cueing in your sessions that will really be helping clients, not just one-on-one, but as a full group. I would look at switching on the left hamstring more, the left psoas, as well as correcting like your left like the left obliques, because there'd be a little bit more lower back switching on. With the, like, I do more side planks on the right side compared to the left, and then a little bit more mobility work on the left shoulder. Yeah. All right.
That's my injured shoulder, my left. So it's like I'm in protection mode. So when you're like, you know, but it's funny because when I go get adjusted chiropractor, they're like, you're overcompensating so much with your right shoulder. This is actually, we're having to work on this shoulder because you're in protection mode with your injured shoulder. So
yeah, like that means like when we're able to get to the root cause of the shoulder, it might, like, usually the part that's in pain is the part that's been working all along. It's the part that's overworked. And now, like, as the chiro says, like, the right side is starting to compensate. But also, if you put more pressure on the right leg, that is then going to start to help with the left shoulder. So there's this fascial connection that you can also be learning in these trainings together. I've created this masterclass because I've worked with instructors over many years now, and they don't want to make things worse for clients. So they end up holding them back or just referring them on, as you have said. They feel fearful and dread the session because it feels out of their depth when clients come in pain. It can suck the joy out of work. And we're taught to assess clients when they stand. And, you know, when you assess clients and they first come in, how are they standing? Are they standing realistically, or do they like stand to attention?
I think because we're like, I don't like just stop and assess them. But I do notice when they walk in, and you can see how a lot of people walk in, and you can gauge a lot of people. As soon as they walk in and they just slump straight onto their reformer, and they're like, oh, and you're like, okay,
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it'd be great to stand and read, you know, just as soon as they're walking in, you have that eye a bit more. And
yeah. So I'm Claudia. I've been doing this for 25 plus years, helping clients to transform their minds and their bodies. I've been trained in clinical and classical Pilates. I'm a master NLP practitioner, yoga teacher, reflexologist, Reiki healer, and a personal trainer. And like, these modalities have all been put together. So we've got the physical, emotional, and energetic parts that you can start to read someone and know what's happening without only relying on what they remember to tell you or what there's time to speak about. I'm a mum of 2 boys, and I'm in Melbourne, and I've waitlisted my studio with a lot of clients that are needing more instructors to like help them with confidence. The clients I've worked with have had diverse needs. So worked with people with disc bulges, broken backs, muscular tears, fractures, and neural conditions. I've also worked with people that are post-cancer. And like, when people have been really ill or they've been in a lot of pain, they tend to disconnect with their body. And learning how to help them to connect with their body, but not panic when there's pain, that's where like the change actually lies. Because until they feel like they can trust themselves and we can reset the nervous system through movements and cues, no change is actually going to be sticking for clients. So I used to have a lot of clients returning in pain. And then until working like this way, they don't. They sometimes come in with a different niggle, or life happens and they fall. And the great thing is they start to bounce back much quicker, and injuries don't generally resurface and reoccur like they used to when I was working with clients at the start. I've worked with top athletes and celebrities, mums, children, very diverse kind of background. And like coming from South Africa, I won't go into all the details. It was a very dangerous and like violent place to live. And so my body was always in fight or flight mode. And like seeing psychologists didn't help because I had the script of like what I was feeling safe to share. And I had spoken about my problems enough. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to push through the pain and like, let's just forget about it. But the symptoms my body was experiencing was like disconnection. There was a lot of pain. There were repetitive injuries, and like my mind body coordination was horrible. And on top of that, I never really trusted my body because as a kid, I didn't crawl. And this reduces the primal reflexes that you get like when you're using the opposite sides. And so focusing in school, any kind of sporting activities, even catching a ball was hard. And so I was labeled lazy and not trying. And so growing up with this label really impacted me physically. And I learned how to really train my body to be able to trust it, to be able to strengthen it and connect with it through these methods. And then also not just rely on the story my mind was telling me. Like there were all these memories swirling around, even when we immigrated. So, you know, being able to use these natural methods has helped me to get out of post-traumatic experiences. I had PTSD, depression, anxiety for a very long time. And using my body to lead me has helped me. And when COVID hit, that was when I saw the same panic in clients. And I started to work in the way that I help myself. And so, like, I started to see much quicker results with clients. They had all their family around. So they weren't able to really share. They were always saying, I'm fine. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, they were a mess. So it's based on experience with hundreds of clients. And it's also based on working with surgeons and alignment professionals. So there's the science-based method, but also the somatics and then personal experience and working with clients. And so like I'm really passionate about helping clients to find that safe space internally and then actually healing. There's so many pain management strategies, but there's none that actually help people. So when working with clients with injuries, the things to look out for are like their body movement patterns. So even just with how you were standing, there's particular patterns that we look for, that you learn to look for, and then this helps you to know what to do with that knowledge. Clients can be terrified to move when they're in pain, and using your cues in a way that they don't really know you're actually doing it for them makes the biggest difference as well. They don't feel alienated in the class. It's not only about their body, it's also about what's emotionally impacting their physical being and how they're showing up, their internal dialogue, and any other past experiences they may not have really dealt with, but we don't have to be a psychologist for them. We just help use the body to heal the mind. And yeah, things to look out for is when clients are disconnected or numb, they're just going to push past like all the pain or all the exercises and not really care about how their body's feeling and then cause pain. So I'd love for you to do a quick self-assessment. Rate your confidence when working with clients in pain.
Currently, probably a 4, I would say.
Yep. And then your fear when working with clients post-injury and in pain.
Again, probably around that 4 mark. Like I'm not very confident at all.
Yeah.
Like probably the only injury that I'm more confident is like those shot, because I have the shoulder injury, I can sort of have an understanding of like that's, you know, what to avoid and everything like that. But when it comes to other injuries where I have, you know, not that personal understanding, yeah, I would say, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty low.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're not alone. That's okay. So 3 things that make this work. There's what to look for. There's what it means. There's what to do. So when you know what to look for, what it means, and what to do, there's a whole bunch of things that happen. So when you know what to look for, you don't have to rely on what clients are telling you. And like in your case, you don't have much time to really have that like discussion. You'll be able to see what's outside of their awareness. It's really fast, as you experienced at the start. You'll know if the shift that you've given them will last. And like you won't be as focused on like where the pain is, because that's very symptom focused. And we end up like overworking what's already strong and releasing what's weak. So like if there's an injury and we just modify, or we just want to just steer away from using that body part, then nothing's really going to change. And there's also that overcompensation from the other side. So also you won't be avoiding clients in pain or reinforcing their fear around the injury, because on a subconscious level, people are going to pick up that like there's that nervousness, and then they also feel nervous too. So when you know what it means, it tells you what to do. You won't go off track. It takes out the guesswork of like how to help these clients. You won't trigger or make things worse, because you learn to see these little signals from the body, and you spend less time trying to figure out what to do. The pain won't persist or move around the body. So like there's a lot of times when we release pain in one area of the body, then the pain shows up somewhere else. So then you'll understand through the myofascial connection of like why that's happening and then what to do. And you'll get them out of the pain cycle, so they won't constantly be returning with that same pain every session. And when you know what to do, it gives you more freedom. You work with precision, there's less guesswork, and you get results that you haven't before. You'll feel more confidence, and you will embody client safety and empower your clients to move without you around. Like they won't only be relying on you for movement. And so then they'll have like many more results because they're doing work between sessions with you as well. And you'll also dial down the imposter syndrome if you experience that. So the pain is not the problem. The pain is the message from the body of what's not working, of what's needing support, and the area that's actually been working all along is now the part that's in pain. So when we start to recognize this, we can look elsewhere and know what is contributing to this pain. I had a client, she came in with a torn hamstring after, like, you know, she's in her 40s. She used to play soccer at school, and now she's in her 40s, and she's like, I'm going to go play soccer because I always used to. And so she then injured herself because, like the clients you've seen at gym, she was pushing herself like she used to, and her body just isn't built that way anymore. And so within 5 sessions, her hamstring was great. So we had her coming twice a week. So it was about, 2.5 weeks. But I always aim for 10 sessions together, closer together, so that we can really shift the change. And she hasn't had to come back again. So like whenever clients hurt themselves, I give them specific exercises they can do at home and specific ways of changing how they stand and use their body in their day. And that then helps them to like totally make a shift with their nervous system because they don't have those same habitual ways of standing, and they understand like how to rebalance and reset the body. When you notice that clients have neck and shoulder pain, it means that they either, like there's one or all of these, they're either holding back emotionally, they might be feeling really guarded, they might be breathless. Now, breathless is a particular body story that people have. And like when they are in social interactions, they either take on other people's energy or they feel really drained at the end of the day. So this is the breathless body story of holding other people's baggage on their shoulders. And they sometimes really struggle to speak their truth. So helping them with breath practices or asking them where in their lives are they able to release other people's energy that doesn't serve them. And like in the trainings, we weave particular cues to help your clients to start to think about where they can make these shifts and changes. And then what to do when clients have neck and shoulder pain. They have, you want to be working their upper back, like almost like probably what you've been doing with your shoulder. So like upper back work, triceps is key, feet. So making sure that there's even pressure on the feet and that the toes are aligned and that the feet are totally hip width. There's always going to be one that's slightly more to the center of the body, and that's the one that they really are struggling to find place, like where does it need to go. Resetting the hamstrings. So there's a particular technique I use in the hamstring work that really fires both hamstrings up instead of just one. So like in your case, there is one hamstring that works more than the other hamstring. And we really want to reset that. And the hips. So when we're able to reset the hips and work on mobility and strength in them along with pelvic stability, that's going to make a huge shift in the neck and shoulders. I do have a hip workshop coming up on the 6th of September. It's a 2-hour workshop at my studio in Beaumaris. And yeah, so you're welcome to join that. That's from 12 till 2. Let me know if that's something that you'd be keen for. So knee pain, the one that you really also want. It means that they are struggling to surrender. And they might be feeling really stubborn as well. So depending on which knee. So on the left knee, they're feeling stubborn emotionally. They're holding on to some emotion. They want things their way. And if it's on the right side, they are really feeling stubborn and they don't want to let go of control. They feel like they have to control everything. And if they feel out of control, their knee is going to be sore. They might be fearing to jump into something new, and they could be really stuck in their ways, stuck in a job they don't really want. So yeah, it's just a gentle, quick question to people that have knee pain. These can make a really huge impact. What to do? So you release the RT band. Do you know what the RT band is?
Yeah, along the outside of the knee. Yep.
Yeah, so releasing that. If we don't release that, the glute medius doesn't generally work as well. Foot placements, hamstrings once again, and then ankles and calves. So really working on like mobility in the ankles and strength work in the ankles. And doing like single leg balancing, and I know that you work a lot on the reformer, so like things where you could do single straps like doing one leg with a strap, the other one without a strap. So these are just a few things to look for. So when you notice lower back pain, the past hurts. That's one or all of these. Either the past hurts or they are not feeling safe in their body. They may not be trusting their body's ability and their own ability of doing things with their body. And a big part of safety is working on the hips. And that's why I'm running this hip workshop. They might be lacking purpose or motivation, and they need more flow in their lives. They are feeling they work very rigidly. So there's a lot of rigidity in their body and the way they do their life. So what to do? Hamstrings are a big one with most things. They are very underrated in most exercises and very underused in most. Thighs are always taking over as well as butts. There's also another technique of when you're doing any hamstrings, get your clients to switch off their butt. Because if they have their butt squeezed, their hamstrings aren't going to work. Pelvic floor, getting their pelvic floor to not bear down or pop out, soften and lift is key. Inner thighs, once again, the feet, and then the stride and toes. So where the feet begin, because I'm a reflexologist, so like feet are a big part of any way the body feels. There's trigger points under the feet for the rest of the body. And like if clients are walking with one foot pretty mobile and then the other one is pretty stiff, that is something to flag for the rest of the body. Because the leg that's pretty mobile, how does the rest of the body then work? And then the leg, the foot that's really stiff, is the rest of the body moving pretty stiff? So that leg and then the opposite arm and shoulder, you might see some stiffness and rigidity through that. So yeah, I've worked with the clients who came in after having a multiple sclerosis attack, and it was her first one. So she lost 60% of her use in her body, of the one side of her body. And then of course the opposite eye is the one that helps that side, the opposite side of the body. So she was struggling to see outside with one of her eyes. And so we had her coming pretty often, between 3 to 4 sessions a week. And within her first 2 months, she had restored all her movement. I work with doctors when it comes to really serious conditions, because I'm not going to pretend that I can fix everything. So like working safely and really gauging what the doctors are suggesting, but also working in a way that it's holistic, because doctors often, they'll just operate. So we really want to be staying true to how we work and where the causes lie, but also getting some suggestions from what the doctors are doing. And so having this communication between the two is key, like me and the doctor. So yeah, she fully restored her health, came twice a week from there on for many years. And then Amy, she used to have a lot of injuries. She's been through some emotional upheavals during our time together. And so she loves how subtle this process feels, but it's really profound and it transforms every aspect of her life. So it's given her a deep awareness, not just of her movement patterns, but of the emotional and energetic patterns behind them. And it's like learning a new language that helps me understand what I need to do to restore balance and alignment in my life. And I've had this time and time again where clients have been really hurt and they panic every time their body gets sore. And then this panic creates more fear, creates more constriction, and then the pain just gets worse. And so learning to understand the body and how to bounce back makes biggest difference. And there's this education piece of how they can help their body that really empowers clients in a whole new way. And it doesn't take much time, Sarah. So, like, yes, I've worked with lots of instructors. These are just a few things that instructors say. So, like, I used to rely on what clients said. Now I see what they need before they say a word. The body story method has taken my confidence and coaching to the next level. And then this training has given me confidence to work with clients in pain. Claudia's support is amazing.
You're invited to join me at the next pain and injury training. With over 25 years, I've worked with clients with injuries of all types, including disc bulges, broken backs, torn hamstrings, hip replacements, shoulder displacement, neural conditions, and so much more. I've had enough experience to know there's no room for error when working with people in pain. I've taken my lessons from over 25 years and put them together into this pain and injury training that I cannot wait to share with you. At the pain and injury training, you'll learn to train clients with precision and get quicker results. Work with clients in pain and the psychology behind their pain and how this is keeping them in a pain loop as well. The importance of foot placement and how this impacts the rest of the body. Understanding myofascial connection, working with what's in clients' conscious awareness and what's outside of their awareness so that you can really get to help their body to feel so much better and stronger than before. How to work with injuries with confidence, get to the root cause of their pain, and essential cues to create a safe environment for your clients, especially when they're terrified to move, when they're in pain, post-injury, or they're new to the class. This training includes a full day live in-person training with me, as well as 5 90-minute live masterclasses and mentoring online after the live in-person training, where we will cover 5 specific conditions that clients have, including hips, neck and shoulders, post-operative and post-trauma, back pain and disc bulges, ankle, knee, and plantar fasciitis. There is also the extra bonus that I'm only offering to those who have watched this recording of 2 one-on-one mentoring sessions with me. We will be working on your business, how to grow your business, how to attract the ideal clients, or working on specific exercises and workout routines that you can give to your clients. Anything that you are struggling with as an instructor or business owner, this is what we can cover in these 60-minute sessions. After this pain and injury training, you will feel confident to work with clients in pain with exercises that work for specific injuries and pain, and like you can work more holistically with your clients. You'll feel empowered with the meaning behind pain and injuries and confident to hold space for clients and help them feel safe in their body when moving. The total bonus value of this offer is $2,100, and because you watched the recording, you get it for just $1,600. Contact me within the next 24 hours in the link below so we can book you in at the payment option that best works for you.